Tell people they can't molest children because it's obviously wrong. We tell people they can't drink and drive because it's obviously wrong. In my opinion, if it wasn't for it being a majority vice, it would be obviously wrong to recklessly procreate. Obviously wrong. Huge, giant risk, very marginal opportunity for success. Yeah, obviously wrong. No control on the experiment, like building nuclear power plants, based on a design you got out of a Cracker Jack box. So fuck you. Yeah. Let's see. I did the war thing. Alright, so it now comes down to these, how do we fix what we can agree that's broken? And your critique that somehow anti-natalists have an obligation to go with plan C or D or E instead of their plan A. And somehow they should just, oh no, we can't do plan A, so yeah, we'll be like the rest of these assholes and get into the sewage with our dustpans, and scoop it and bail for the rest of our lives. Fuck that. Yeah, I do hope for better. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I want a solution to the problem. I don't want a Band-Aid. I don't want a wound care kit. I want to stop the bullets. I want to stop the war. And so you do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I think is a productive investment of my time. And I would suggest to you that it would be infinitely more productive for you to talk about why you are a reckless asshole and that having kids was not an intelligent decision. It was an emotional, selfish, personal decision that had nothing to do with planning or the world or doing what's right for the world or anything else. It just had to do with a selfish human acting on his own selfish interests. Yeah, why don't you do that? You keep talking like somehow because you're a human, you're allowed to be biased. And that's just bullshit. If you catch a bias in yourself, you should recognize and say, oh fuck, I'm biased. I gotta fix that. E equals MC squared is the same truth, whether a rock is given the brains to contemplate it or a human. You can't change that truth. And there's truths about the value of sentience and harm and pain and suffering. And those truths don't change because you're human. A rat's pain and suffering in a laboratory doesn't change because it's a human being contemplating it, an alien contemplating it, a frog contemplating it. If it's going to claim to be intelligent, it's going to understand it for what it is, not for how it feels, not for whether it thinks it's cute, not any of this whether it thinks it's tasty. These are not things intelligence, it doesn't, intelligence doesn't take a sensual survey and draw up an opinion. That's as silly as the politics of people, where they vote for a guy because he has a beard or he doesn't have a beard, or because there's blue lettering on his sign and not red lettering. You're going to call that intelligent? I think obviously not. So it's just bullshit. Either you're going to be intelligent or you're going to be a human. Pick one. But you can't be both. It's just bullshit. That your human bias is just too strong and you can't see past it. Oh, fuck that crap. It's nonsense. Creationist nonsense. You see, you're not a devotee of the religion of the DNA. And you are, completely. You got all of the rhetoric, all of the apologetics down. You're even now speculating to diminish the meaning of suffering. You're even now trying to talk like the 4 trillion microbes that are passing beneath my feet here are all feeling. And when I step on them, they're all going, ow, oh, 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 oh. Just so we can pretend that when mammals bleed out and squirm on the ground and writhe, that it doesn't mean anything. These microbes are doing it. Yeah, fuck you. The ultimate creationist crapola. God created the earth this way, therefore you will accept it this way. But again, we're back to the Are you going to be part of the solution? Or are you just going to be one of the assholes, blocking the solution because you're so busy putting on band-aids and scooping sewage? That's the bottom line. We can diagnose the problem. Life is the problem. Life is built. It's a bad design. It's the best way to put it. All right, doesn't matter how you build it. If you follow the natural design, it's going to fail. Because nature is a Tower of Pisa. Nature is a failed structure. Structurally, it can't work. It won't work. It's an upside down pyramid, or however you want to describe it. It won't work. It can't function because it's all about consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction. There's no good ingredients. There's only negative ones. There's make you hungry, force you to chase bullshit. And we see it in this world if you look at it. If we take the magnifying glass and we look at it, we can see the grotesque ugliness of it. The carnage. Lots of stuff being eaten alive. Lots of organisms that are nothing but energy thieves, feeding on those that fed, on those that fed, on those that fed, to get their packet of energy so they can perpetuate their DNA. It's not a good design, Pyrrho. It doesn't go anywhere. There's little hope of taming that monster. It's like breaking a Tyrannosaurus. I just don't think you're going to do it. I don't think you got a chance in hell of doing it. So in my opinion, as long a shot as it might be to get this game benignly and passively and gracefully ended, it's a hell of a lot better shot than trying to ride a Tyrannosaurus, because you're just going to get chomped and eaten up, and your efforts will be futile and a waste of time. The most good you can do is prevent the bad, and preventing the bad means, cement up as many vaginas as possible. Yeah, we ought to give away free vagina cement. Fuck this shit. At least uterus cement. Yeah, let's keep the vaginas and just cement up the uteruses. So that's all I got to say to you. You don't get it on any level. You don't get the personal part of it. You don't get the how YouTube works part of it. You don't get philosophically that there's a reality here to be described, and that some of that reality is going to be about judgment and value. And those truths are as real as the fact that the sun is producing a lot of photons. Yeah, the fact that sentience matters and suffering matters is as true as, the sun is hot. So yeah, I'm not going to argue these basic facts with creationist nutballs. So that's your choice. Be a human, a silly human. Say you're entitled to be a silly human. I claim otherwise. I claim logic demands otherwise. Yeah. Be a Vulcan or be a failure. Those are your choices. So, till next time.